We are about to experiment with some very expensive acrylic paint. If you go into any sort of art supply stores, craft stores, Spotlight, any of those sorts of places, you're probably going to see this stuff somewhere. It's called Liquitex. So these are professional level acrylic paints. And luckily for me, I didn't have to buy them myself because we have some little sample packs here. And I want to test these out today because they're two different types of Liquitex acrylic paint. They do different things. I want to see what they do. So let's just have a bit of a test, huh? Let's see if it's worth your money. So the two different types of Liquitex paint we have today, we've got the soft body and the heavy body paint. They've got different kinds of properties. They're trying to achieve different things. They're both the same color, so these are both cadmium red medium hue. I'm going to go with the soft body first. So this is supposedly meant to be quite a soft, gentle kind of a paint that, maybe I should have brought some scissors with me. Use those muscles. Soft body acrylic, smooth and fluid for great coverage and even leveling. Let's see, great coverage and even leveling. Well, if I just put a little bit out, I'll just squish a little bit out. Ooh, straight away, it's very liquidy. Very, well, you know, I mean, I know it's in the name and everything, but when you're talking about paints, some of them can be quite thick, like an oil paint, for example, while then others, especially these days with acrylic pouring being such a big deal, they're more fluid. So they've got different sorts of fillers happening in there, and I could just be plonking that down and it just bloop, just pops itself on the page, just like that. So let's have a look here. It is very, very soft, as the name implies. It's got good spreadability, so you can spread that out pretty nicely. I'm just using a relatively dry synthetic brush here. And it feels really loose. You know, sometimes when you're working with paints, you can feel them in your brush. There's just like a sense of them. Here, it's almost like I'm just pushing around water. Like I can't feel this stuff at all. But that does have pretty gosh darn good coverage. You might be wondering, why the heck have you got a black and a blue stripe over there? We're going to see how good the coverage is in just a second. All right, so that's the texture of the soft body, and I can only assume that as it dries, it's going to flatten out a little bit more. So this is our heavy body, and this heavy body is meant to react in a very different way. It sounds like they're trying to make a paint that does act more like an oil paint. A little bit. Ooh, already, ooh, that's very different. The viscosity of it is very different. The other one was just like plopping straight out of the packet. This one, I really have to kind of squeeze this out, and you can straight away see a difference in the texture there. This to me seems a little bit closer to the typical acrylic paint that you're used to in terms of the texture. It's maybe a bit firmer than usual, but texture wise, this is really watery. This one being a bit more firm, it's more like what I'm used to anyway with acrylic paints. If I pick this up, yes, it's quite firm. You can like really pick this stuff up and do some textural stuff with that one. Look at that. And so it says here that you can use it with a knife. Let me get a knife over here. So you can do some knife work with this one. Do some scraping, lay it down, a little bit like oil, and scrape through it. In comparison to the soft body, which it's so like water and gentle, it just doesn't really want to do it. The coverage is absolutely there. Look how, I think because also, you know, it's a thicker paint, so you can only assume that really you're going to get quite a bit of coverage there. And I don't know if that's going to come up on camera, but I can see the little bristles in the brush are making strokes in the paint. So I assume that when that dries, it's going to show up as well. So this is the one that I want to test out here. Okay, I'm going to squeeze out a wee bit more of this soft body. All right, I'm going to pick up some of this softer one on my brush, and we want to see the coverage. Ooh, that's pretty good. Drag it over the black. With the black one, I can tell that you probably need to either layer it up a little bit more or just add it more thick. Yeah, I can see the black and I can see the blue coming through there. You might be able to pick that up on the edges there a little bit. It's not too bad. Let's have a little look-see at what the heavy body one does. Okay, this is the chunky one. Load up our brush. We're going to go up the top here. I'll just go straight across. That did pick up a bit of that blue, which wasn't quite dry there, but that's not too bad. That's all right. I'm going to really load up my brush now and see. Ooh. If I really load up my brush, and it's a lot easier to load up your brush with the heavy body one compared to the softer one where it just doesn't want to stay there. That covers really well. Look how well that's just covered that blue. Let's see if I can cover up all of this black. Coverage is definitely better with the heavy body. They feel really good when you're working with it. How quickly is it? So that still feels a little bit tacky. Just seeing how quickly they dry. This one here, that's dry already. Now, price. This can be a bit of a deciding factor. This can be the one that makes or breaks you. I don't know how much these are off the top of my head, but I will find out and stick it down below there for you. This will just be like online pricing. And guys, I'm going to do another Liquitex video. I've got some other really interesting little mediums here. And these are things that I think that you can mix in with acrylic paints. So I'll do another tester video for you. But in the meantime, you best subscribe and like this video. Tell me what you want to see. What should we test out next? And with that, I hope to see you all next Thursday. Have a great rest of the week, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye.